Hi, I'm White Tupac. I'm just kidding. It's me. See? This is just a disguise, just in case you didn't recognize me. But you might be wondering why I'm wearing a Louis Vuitton Twilong on my head. Well, that's because I've got a couple of Louis Vuitton fragrances that I want to talk about, along with some other ones. So I've got six, I don't know, maybe six pairs of fragrances that really smell alike to me. And I want to talk about them because, hell, why the fuck not? And of course, 6 times 2 is 12. It's not 10. And here we go again with that old line. So let's begin with the old California Love. Or let's call it California Dreams, because this is the one I want to talk about first. It is, and look, admittedly, I don't have a full bottle of these 2 Louis Vuitton ones, but a sample to get the idea is always good. This one's California Dream, and I like the way that they're packaged in here. They come out like this, and even the actual tester itself, the little sample itself, is got a gradation in the coloring of the glass. And I am going to compare this to another Louis Vuitton fragrance, which is called On the Motherfucking Beach. All right, there it is. On the beach. On the beach. And this is getting annoying. Never mind. I might have to live with it. Yeah. And this one's also got some cool gradation. All right, this is On the Beach. This is California Dreamin'. They both start out very, very similar to me. They're very summery scents. Of course, California Dreams, On the Beach. If you can imagine the imagery of that these sort of fragrance titles evoke. And I'm gonna chuck them on. And you know, I've gotten a little bit professional in that. Hold on, I've got some of this shit. Some of this shit right here. Open it up. Look at me. I feel like fucking that guy with the nice hair. What's his name? The guy. What's his name? Maybe if I have some coffee, I might remember. Persolaise. That's the guy. He always has these things handy. So I'm gonna be like Persolaise without the hair. So here we go with a bit of like this, and some nice atomizer on these testers as well. So the first one, California Dream. And I'm going to mark this as well with a pen. California Dreams. There. I should have been a doctor with this kind of handwriting. If you, boom, look at that. Right. Nice citrus, musk. And nope, just citrus and musk. That's basically it. It's fairly simple. It's fairly simple. Now this one, On the Beach, I'm gonna turn this here like that, and yeah, this one I want a full bottle of. On the Beach. There's a little bit more rind in the citrus up top in this one. And this has already gone musky. The citrus is really not all that present, and it doesn't stay doesn't stay around for a very long time. However, the citrus up the top here, which I think is yuzu, is a lot more rindy. So it's a lot more fresh smelling, right? And you do have a little bit more herbs in here. Rosemary, pepper, I think there's thyme and cloves in here as well, and an odd note of sand, which is whatever, because I don't know, I've never sort of really got down and smelled sand. Yeah, I've never really smelled sand. I don't know, it's not a thing that I do when I go to the beach. And I like this one much better. They are similar. If you're thinking about buying either one of these or getting either one of these, I would definitely go for On the Beach over California Dreams, only because it's really, they're not cheap, the Louis Vuitton fragrances, I gotta say that. And even like if they offer the refill service and all that kind of stuff, it's still pretty pricey because you'll bring your own bottle and then go to a place where they refill it. With California Dream, the musk in here, when it dries down, it's just your generic sort of musk. There's nothing really special in here to sort of say, yeah, this is worth it. Whereas this one, when it dries down, it's got that it's got like a lot of like a foresty sort of cypressy kind of freshness to it, you know. So it's like those beaches that are sort of fronted by a row of sort of trees, not palm trees, more like those cypressy looking trees, so more like the evergreen sort of trees that sort of that sort of fence some coastlines naturally or unnaturally, whatever they may be. But that is it. On the beach, I think is going to be a pickup for me this year when the weather starts to warm up. So yes, that one over this one. And I did go testing quite a few of them when I was in the boutique itself, and I managed to snag a couple of samples, and those two are the Louis Vuitton ones. Let's move on, shall we? Right, so the next new one that I picked up recently was one which is a flanker that I'd never heard of before, of one of my favorite fragrances, which is right here. This is called Jaipur by Boucheron, Jaipur Homme by Boucheron. There is a women's one as well, which came out in the 90s, I think. And this is the Eau de Toilette Fraîcheur Épicée. I don't know if you can read that. It says Fraîcheur Épicée, which is like fresh spice or something like that in French. And the juice color is nice. It's like sort of nice and sort of greenish like that. It's got that sort of Gucci Envy-ish kind of vibe to it, but it smells nothing like that, because it smells oddly very, very similar to the original Jaipur de Boucheron. This one right here, which is this one right here is the Eau de Parfum, which I've got here, and that's the one that I recommend if you're going to go for this one. I've had this bottle for a very long time, and you can see that I have still yet to go maybe like another 15 to 20 mils of it, and I do wear it very often. It's just that you don't need to spray much because it is absolutely beastly. Not much different with this one, except this one's a little bit more fresh and more citric in the opening. If you've never actually heard of this, and I was curious to get it, and when I got it, I sprayed it and I thought, oh, that started out pretty fresh. But then once the mid notes it started to transition into the mid and into the base, it was basically this, but a less richer sort of this. So if you're looking for the original, but a little bit watered down and a little bit, well, it's not really spicy. I wouldn't call it spicy. It is more citric, so like they've chucked a little bit of citrus at the top, maybe a little bit of green notes as well. And they've put out a flanker. And the reason nobody knows about this is because it wasn't too different from the original, which you can still get at a very, very reasonable price. So yes, if you do see this, the curiosity is not worth your money. Just go for the original in the Eau de Parfum concentration. That's Boucheron, Jaipur Homme by Boucheron. So my next pickup was a bit of a surprise. It's been kind of on my list for a little while, but I've never really, I hesitated to pull the trigger, and I'm glad I did, because I was about to pay like $150 for this, and I ended up paying like less than half of that to get this bottle. And the thing I'm talking about is Cocorico, right? Which is the sound a rooster makes, apparently, in the morning. And if you're wondering why the bottle looks like someone's face, it's because it's supposed to look like Jean-Paul Gaultier's face. And I don't know if his face looks like this, but his nose must be enormous. And if you turn this particular bottle to the side, you can see that there is the iconic Lamal profile of all the Lamal bottles of the male torso. So it's his face, and it's an homage to the thing that actually put him on the map in terms of fragrances, right? And this, one of the fragrance creators or the perfumers of this, is my favorite perfumer. Her name is Annick Menardo, and I think she did this one with Olivier Cresp. That's right, Annick Menardo and Olivier Cresp. Bang, what a combination. Like, those two fantastic perfumers, they've got some bangers in their portfolio. And when I saw the notes of fig leaf and cacao and patchouli, and of course cedar and vetiver in the base, and I just thought, that sounds like something I would really, really like. But I wasn't prepared to smell something that I already have. And the thing that I'm talking about is this. This is L'Instant de Guerlain pour Homme au Extrême. And they do smell quite similar. Maybe not in the deep dry down, and a little bit different at the opening as well. Yeah. I'm going to chuck these on a strip as well. Atomizer on this is actually really good. And of course, they're both been discontinued. And the reason why I think that this is good is because whilst this you can pick up pretty damn cheap, this one you cannot. Not at all. And so if you're curious about this and you've never smelled it, this is a pretty damn good alternative to it. It's not exactly the same. There we are. It's way more chocolatey, right? The cacao makes it way more chocolatey. The patchouli sort of is also quite chocolatey. You can smell the fig up the top. It's really, I don't know why it didn't do well. It's such a really good scent. I guess I think I know why it didn't do well. It's because Le Male was so popular and everybody was just waiting on the next Le Male. And well, they put a lot of effort into this and it flopped. And ever since then, I guess they've been so butthurt that all we get are flankers of Le Male with a little tweak here, a little tweak there, maybe except for Fleur de Mal and Fleur de Mal Cologne. But most of them have just been tweaks of the original formula, and people still like the original formula. However, this, I think it really did deserve some credit because, man, it's really, really damn good. I want to compare it. I do want to compare it. I go Cocorico here to the L'Instant. I feel so professional with these. Bang, bang. So the difference up the top there is that this has got that citrus at the top in the top notes, and the juxtaposition of the patchouli in the base that's already present. Oh yeah, really, really good. A little bit more refined. This is a bit more rough around the edges, I think. But they're both really, really good. And I think, they're both phenomenal. We all know how much people love this one. So I don't know why people didn't love this one, given the similarity in the scent profile. So there you go. If you're ever contemplating sinking many hundreds of dollars on a bottle of this, consider maybe sinking less than $100 on a bottle of this. Okay, the next one probably needs no introduction because everybody knows this fragrance, and the one I'm talking about is the one that I've got not much left of, and that should give you an indication of how much I actually like it, is this one right here, which is La Nuit de l'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent. No surprise here, okay? Not much left. Beautiful scent. It just works. It just works. And women love it. Men love it. Everybody loves it. So, if you don't love it, you might need to check if you're a human. Maybe Mark Zuckerberg doesn't like this. What did I acquire that is very, very similar to this? Is it Riflesso by Trussardi? No, because I've smelled that and it's not that good. It's not that good at all. So don't fall for the hype if anyone's trying to hype that up. Nope, I copped another one of these. And there's a lot of talk about reformulation this, reformulation that. So I was always curious. And so I got me a 4-digit batch code of a 2010. This is a 2010 bottle of La Nuit de l'Homme. The juice color is slightly different. You could probably see it in the camera there, that the older one is way darker than the newer one. Wow, the older one, the juice color, whatever. But one more thing I noticed is this cap is heaps heavier. It's not the hollow cap inside, so those were in 2009. And I don't know if this is actually a 2010 bottle cap either, because I've not seen a 2010 bottle cap. The sprayer is not the fat sprayer, but it does have a 4-digit batch code, so it's a 2010 bottle. Anyway, let's have a look at the smell difference, of which there is some. Considering This is now a 12-year-old bottle, and this is a 2018 version, which is actually really good. They're both very, very similar. However, this has got two key differences. One is that it's deeper in spiciness, and there's a lot more cardamom, and the cardamom has a lemon note. Now, I don't know if you've ever tried to eat a cardamom pod or squash it and then sort of run your fingers through the oils. The skin of the pod itself has a lemony kind of taste to it. And that, funnily enough, it made me giggle. Funnily enough, that was what sort of came out here. And I enjoyed it very much. Now, the fact that it's a bottle from 2010, it may have not been kept all that well, because I find the longevity, whilst it's okay, it's just only slightly better than this newer bottle here. And, with good reason that I've sprayed this so much is because longevity is not that great and I want it to last longer. And so I oversprayed it. And that's a mistake. That's a mistake that everyone's making. Stop overspraying stuff. Okay, so those two smell similar. If you're ever wondering, and if you're ever going to chase down, again, the same situation with the previous ones, with the L'Instant de Guerlain and the Cocorico, is that it's not worth getting an older one. It's just not. Everybody praising, oh my God, the older one was so much better. Oh, why did they change it? It's not that bad. It's actually pretty damn good. Maybe I lied. Okay, so I had a big bottle of this, a 2020 batch, and that was way too clean. That wasn't spicy enough. It wasn't the way I like it. I mean, fuck this shit off. Hold on. I'll put this away because it's bugging me like crazy. All right, how's that? Do I look cool now? Is it? Yeah. All right, I look like I should be cleaning someone's house. It's not really worth the whole, song and dance that people make about it. But if you do find one that pops up on the grey market and they don't have a picture of the underside of the cap or the batch code or anything like that, then I guess one way of telling whether you've got like an older bottle of La Nuit de l'Homme that I noticed is if you can actually see, or if it's like packaged up, and if you can actually see the sprayer, the sprayers. I don't know if you can see that. Let it focus like this. The sprayers there, right? One of them, yeah, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so this one right here, the sprayer itself, see that? It's got like a little plasticky thing that sticks out, right, into the bottle. Whereas this one does not. It's more sort of recessed inside the neck of the bottle itself. So that's one way that you can tell if one's a vintage, one's not. La Nuit de l'Homme. Okay, so I recently got my hands on a bottle of this, which is Stefan Humbert. Oh, fuck, you can't even see it. It's too reflective. Trust me when I say this is Ohira by Stefan Humbert Lucas, with stupid shiny shit on the front, which it doesn't work when you're trying to do videos. But here's the backside of it. There you go. Ohira, right? It is supposed to be a Soliflor, which is a fragrance based off one note only. And the note that's in here is fossilized ambergris. Fossilized ambergris. Ambergris is whale vomit or something like that. And this is fossilized whale vomit. And my God, it is a phenomenally good scent. It's so damn good. I love it to bits. And I think that even though SHL stuff is like ridiculously priced, and this is probably one of, if not the most expensive that he's got, I think maybe the other ones aren't worth it to me, but this one is, because if it is actually one note, but like there's so much more going on in here than one note. I can't believe it's just fossilized amber. It can't be right. That can't be right. But if it is, then it's just mastery of perfumery. That's what this is. And what does this smell like? Something cheaper, but not cheap. which I picked up recently as well, which is this one, another shiny metal plaque thingy on the front, which is this one right here, which is Patchouli Koza by Nishane. And it's weird because I was expecting a cozy patchouli. I don't know what koza means. That's probably some word, but no. Instead, there's a ton of amber in here. Just like this, there's an absolute fuck ton of amber in here. And it smells very similar to this. This is sort of like a super concentrated, one direction amber. This is just right in your face, lasts forever. This one also lasts forever. It projects quite well, like really well, but it's fooling you. There's not much patchouli in here. Patchouli is like a background player, and it's mostly all about that amber. It's a different with different facets. This one's way more thick, concentrated amber. This one, a little bit more rounded, a little bit more surround sound. But when I'm wearing both, I feel like I'm enveloped in this sort of amber cloud all around me. Like yesterday, I chucked this on and went for a walk in like pretty cold, it's still winter here, and it was just radiating just from the inside of my jacket that I was wearing. And it was just, oh man, it was so good. So if you're looking for like an amber kind of thing, I'd probably say for these, I can't recommend one over the other because they're both still in production. And so if you want to get this, then you get this. If you want to get this, then you get this. But know that they are actually quite similar in their scent profile. Oh, and I think that is it for me today. And that was a list of just, random fragrances that I thought kind of smell similar. So, putting a little PSA together, and hopefully you got something out of that. And I guess it's back to me being White Tupac again and bidding you all a farewell and saying thanks for watching.